like rocket launch. All right, we are live, and let's just make sure that we are working properly. Okay, we are working properly. So this is the interview series that I'm hosting with my Ivy League formula students. We have Sambi and Mariana. And yeah, this is so amazing. I've never really like shared my students or anything like that. So this is great. I decided to host the interview series because I wanted to share a little bit more in terms of what my students are working on, and just like the ideas that they come up with and the execution that follows those ideas are just beyond amazing. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for you guys to share your passion project. Who wants to go first?
I can go first if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. So why don't you go ahead and share a little bit of, actually a lot about your passion project, why you started, and brag a little bit, like share with everyone a little bit about your project, because we know that we have a documentary coming out and you're probably going to want a lot of people to watch it, etc. So anyway, let us know all about your passion project.
Okay, so I'm Mariana Garcia. I'm a junior and I live in Sacramento, California. And where I'm from, I see homelessness as a very big issue, and it's currently growing exponentially in my city. And so recently, my family took a trip to Los Angeles and we visited Skid Row, which is one of the largest homeless encampments in the US. And what I saw there was it was undescribable. I had a school camera and a microphone in the back of our car. So I decided to document my experience there. And I also got to talk to lots of homeless men and women. And so I interviewed them. I asked them about their lives, how they were living before they were homeless. And this is really where I got the inspiration for my project. So my project is connected with my Girl Scout award because I'm also a Girl Scout. I'm starting a nonprofit called Beauty for Change, which is hopefully going to bring change to homeless women, and we're going to host events where they can shop for clothes, which will be donated, and beauty products, and they will have access to mobile showers and food. Because the stories that I heard from women on the streets when I was in LA, it was just something that no human should ever have to go through. And so I think that bringing beauty to these women, or helping them feel beautiful, is just one way to bring change and some positivity into their lives. So I think that by doing this in my city, I can inspire many other people, hopefully. And so, yes, Julie also mentioned that I'm currently working on a documentary, and that will be coming out soon. I'm also working on publishing my website, so I'm really excited for that.
Yay. And I think the biggest mistake that most people make with passion projects is that they'll see something like, oh, I want to tackle homelessness, or I want to tackle education. And it's a really broad, impact that you're trying to make. So your passion project is so great in a sense that you're focusing on making people feel like pretty and ready to restart their lives, and just giving them the confidence and the tools that they need, right? So I think that narrow focus is amazing. Awesome. Sambi, why don't you go ahead and share with us what your passion project is all about? Your name is so catchy. Also, your passion project, I mean, I didn't schedule it this way, but your passion project is also very specific, right? Go ahead and tell us your inspiration, why you started, and all about your passion project.
Okay, so ever since I was a little girl, I've always had this like immense fascination for astronomy and space. Like I used to watch documentaries as a kid. I used to have this little telescope, like a toy telescope. So I've always had this fascination with space, and as I've grown up, I've become more interested and taught myself more about it. And I wanted to find a way to bring that sort of fascination that I had to the kids in my community. And I live in a community that's kind of, it's like rural, so it's like not many houses around. So I was thinking of, I mean, like, yeah. So
Like
I
no
was
houses
thinking
around.
of,
Uh-huh.
so my passion project is I'm going to be hosting events called star parties at my local YMCA. And star parties are basically like gatherings for amateur astronomers and just people in the community to come and watch like events in space, like in the sky, just like watching an eclipse or something like that, or a meteor shower. So this is a bunch of people who are passionate coming together just to learn and to have fun. And I just really wanted to spark interest in little kids in my community, just like I was interested in space, to sort of build the future generation. And I also have another passion project on the side, which is me trying to get a research assistant with a professor for aerospace engineering. So that's something I'm doing too.
So you started on that process.
Yeah. I've been, with Julie's help, I've been like networking with professors, which I had no clue how to do beforehand, and reaching out and researching about all these different colleges and the research they're doing. So it's a really good experience.
Awesome. You guys are amazing. So I guess the question here is, you guys, I mean, I didn't tell you, both of you guys, like, hey, you should do this project idea or else like colleges, it wasn't like that, right? It was, these were interests and passions that you had like deep in your heart, right? So obviously before, being in the formula program, like what were some of the things that you were concerned about, or maybe you thought, I have this idea, but I don't know how to turn it into something tangible, right? So what were some of the things that you were sort of concerned about or not sure about in regards to your passion project?
Well, for me personally, when I first had the idea to start a nonprofit, that sounds really scary. And you see these organizations like the Red Cross and other nonprofits that have grown to get really big. And it's like, how can me, a teenager, a 16-year-old girl, start something like that? But just the idea of it was really daunting to me. And I didn't think that I would get to where I am now, starting a website and documentary and gathering people for my team and just connecting with other organizations to like get donations and find a place to host events. Um, the whole idea was really scary, but just I found that with the program, just taking it one step at a time, I can do it, and it's working out. So
That's
Yeah,
great.
I think
You already have an idea, so that was really, it was just more of like step-by-step execution.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the same for me, like thinking of how would I implement everything that I want to do and like make sure it's successful. Because like also like being a high schooler and trying to like take on this huge thing, it kind of feels like you don't have the opportunity or the resources to be successful, so you might just try, but it won't work. But I've learned that that's not the case, that if you really focus on what you're doing and break it down into like the steps that you need to take, like Mariana said, I think it definitely is less scary to take on the project.
Mhm.
And you feel more motivated to actually do more with it and inspire people. So
That's great. Awesome. So, I mean, with your passion projects, how do you guys plan to share that with the college admission officers, right? Because I think oftentimes people will create something or they'll start something, but it's like, why did I even do this in the first place? Or like, is this really my passion? Or how do I even integrate it, right? Obviously, I didn't share that with you guys yet, but I'm sure you have an idea and you probably feel a little bit more confident about what you have so far. So how do you plan to convey this in your application and essays? It's a quiz.
I would say, first of all, the projects should probably be sustainable, and it should be something that you can continue doing and show college admissions officers that you're still doing it to this day while you're applying for colleges, because I
That
think
exactly.
it's really impressive and that it shows that you can follow through with your commitments.
100%.
So for them to know that you're still continuing on this project and that it can last for months and years to come, I think that's something that's really important.
And just adding on to that, also seeing growth instead of it being like a stagnant project with like nothing happening and
Mhm.
like you just kind of keep doing the same thing and gets boring for both the people you're providing it for and for yourself. So just if you can show college admission officers that your project has been growing, you've been adding more,
Yeah.
you've been constantly developing ideas, then I think it shows that you really care and you're maintaining your passion because it is a passion project.
Yes. You guys bring up a really good point. I didn't even think about this, which is like you've got to make it active. Like if you're just creating a website and you're like, okay, I'm done. Like here we go. Like here is like what I did, just to show, how I can stand out. Anyone could do that, right? But it's a matter of always pumping. I talk about this a lot in our sessions where you've got to pump out content. Right. So for Mariana, you've got to do blog posts. You've got to take pictures when you're there. You've got to share what you are seeing with other people consistently. Right. And Sambi, same thing. Like when you start working with the kids, like what are you going to do?
Take pictures, hopefully.
Take pictures, share takeaways, expand this passion project into something even bigger so that more kids could take advantage of it, even turn it into something online. There's like so many possibilities, but the underlying theme here is that you always got to pump out content and that it has to be an active passion project.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. So I know you guys are busy and, thank you so much for sharing your passion project and things like that. Is there anything else that you like to share with students and parents, whether it's about your passion project or your experiences in the program? Am I a good coach or am I pushy or like how am I, so anything else that you want to share before we wrap this interview up? And obviously once you guys have your website, we'll go ahead and share it here as well so people could watch your documentary, people could watch your website, and you guys could do collaborations, all of those things. But anyway, yeah, so any last comments or things you want to share?
I would like to add that yes, Julie, you're an amazing coach.
I'm like,
It's been a really good experience, and I've never done something like this before. It's been really worth it, and this was kind of the push I needed to get my ideas going and to get actually working on something that I'm passionate about. And if you're watching this, I would like to say that you can do it if you put your mind to it.
yeah.
And if it's something that you're really passionate about, then go for it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Mariana, you make it sound like I asked you to say that, but I didn't.
No, she didn't ask you to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Julie is an amazing coach. So like coming into this, I think most high schoolers can agree that I didn't really want to think. I'm also a junior. I didn't like want to think about college because it was this like scary process, and like people that try to help you, like people at school, they have so many other students they're trying to work with. You just feel like really small and you don't know what you're doing. But coming with Julie, she's really like connected with all of her students, and she made us feel like this is not as hard of a process as we think it is, and she's making it comfortable for us. So thank you for that.
Aww.
And yeah, so I agree with
And
everything.
not all of it has to be for college either, because if you are really intent on making a change in the world, then that's also amazing.
Yeah,
It's
It's
motivating.
not just for college, because
you
can do something
should
great.
just think of doing anything you're passionate about or starting a passion project, even if you don't have a college counselor or anything like that. Just you should just go for it.
Yeah, if we can help more students live a life that is more fueled by passion and who you really are, can you just imagine like what a beautiful process this is? And yeah, like, I mean, obviously you're doing this, so you're exploring your passion, but this should be for you, for your growth and for your purpose and for your calling and all of those things. So it's beyond, high school. And I think when you guys are like 30 years old or something, or you guys are at where I am, I think you guys are gonna be like, oh, I did that in high school and it was a great start to my career. It was a great start to sort of my professional life. And so I agree, it's beyond college admissions. Oh, you guys are so motivating and sweet. Okay, sounds really good. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to share with your passion project, link it here so people could view your website and things like that. But again, thank you so much for your time, and
Thank
I'll see you guys in the class.
Cool.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Julie. Bye.